if I told you there was a secret top 10 pick in this year's NBA draft from overseas that is 6'10" and won't turn 19 until after next Christmas? Meet Noa Essengue, a 6'10" kid with a 6'11" wingspan that can jump out of the gym and knock down the three ball. He's every NBA scout's wet dream, and he will be the surprise Tisdane Salon pick of this draft, except he can actually play. His best attribute is probably as a driver, and he uses his frame to be able to create space, like on the spin right there, using his wide frame to be able to get position down low, and that's a big time dunk right there. Averaged 12.4 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, 1.4 assists, and a steal in 24 minutes per game this year in the Euro Cup, which is one of the top leagues overseas for the German team. He's 6'10" with a 6'11" wingspan, like we talked about in the Open. He runs the floor really well. That's one thing about him. He has a very high motor, really reminiscent of Salon last year, where he just gets downhill, although he's probably more athletic than Salon. I love it when they run him off this screen here at the top of the key, get him a little down screen and gets him a lot of space to work with. They'll do this multiple times throughout the course of this video, and getting downhill, he's just faster than European bigs. Maybe not some NBA bigs, but, a good majority of them he'll still be faster than. And then they try to blitz this ball screen, and he just presents himself, and it's a 4-on-3 at that point. It's barbecue chicken pretty much. He's just going to turn, get right to the rim, and get the and one to go. Right here, he's going to attack off the bounce, use the spin once again. A ridiculous layup. I mean, that's not a very high percentage shot, but he got it to go. And then once again, off this little down screen at the top of the key, they set it for him. I think he got a little confused on the play call there, but he gets it, and the defense just did not talk whatsoever. He gets downhill, gets the and one, and that's a tough finish. Also out in passing lanes, we'll talk about this a lot more later, but he uses his length so well to get steals, deflections, just really bother the opponents. And that's where NBA teams are going to love him, because of the pressure he can put on the ball, and he has a pretty high defensive IQ. He's also a really good cutter, and man, I mean, if he's doing stuff like that, that's a highlight reel even in the NBA. Getting downhill, it feels like he has a longer wingspan than 6'11". They use him in the pick and roll here, and this is a really nice slip. Great awareness, knowing that they're tied up on the shooter in the corner, so if he slips it, he's going to be wide open. He does that and gets an uncontested dunk. And then right here, catches his defender napping, cuts right to the rim, and finishes it with a big-time jam. And that's something he does. He dunks the ball a lot. That is what teams will love. He goes up strong, and he goes up with bad intentions, and a lot of time is to poster somebody on the other team. Like we said, he runs the floor fantastically, finishes with another dunk right there, and then another slip right here out of the pick and roll. He's got great IQ when it comes to that, setting the screen up here, letting the guard drag out the big, and then as the shooter's running through to the corner, they don't talk, and he's left with, once again, an easy dunk. He finishes with a lot of dunks, which is a little bit concerning because it kind of inflates his field goal percentage, and then his three-point percentage is not great. But right here, there's a fantastic cut off the pick and roll, all the action happening at the top of the key. His defender has to step up and to help, and they don't rotate down in time, and it's an easy dunk. Now, as for the three-point shooting, it's still a little bit of a work in progress. His form looks solid. He's got good mechanics. He has a very high release point, but he only shot 29% from three this year on 1.9 attempts per game. He was 10 for 34 overall over the course of 18 games. So, definitely something to work with there. Not a lot of contests. Other teams aren't really seeing him as a threat until right here. I mean, off the catch, that's a tough three right there. Fading way into the corner, gets it to go all net. He is a spacer. They did start to contest better, and he can be a spacer as the year went on overseas. Right here, you got the pick and roll action once again. They just skip it, and he has the ability to make the defense honor that three ball in the corner. This time it's in the strong side corner. He's just going to be camping out. You got the pick and roll action. Strong side defender steps in to help, and you just pitch it right to him, and he's going to knock down the three ball. And maybe I'm a little bit scarred by my Hornets taking so long last year and it just completely not working out, but 34 attempts for three on an entire season, it's a little bit too small of a sample size for me. Once again on this play, he is the spacer in the pick and roll in the opposite corner. They skip it to him and he knocks it down, and then even showing some pick and pop potential here. We talked about his IQ in the pick and roll where he's slipping it to the rim. This time he pops right to the corner, feeling himself, and knocks down the triple. He can get hot. Like in this game right here where, running the court, catching it in transition and knocking it down. Once again, strong side corner, three ball, and he gets it to fall. But like I said, with the whole Salon situation, I am a little bit hesitant here. Although, he's getting rocketed up draft boards right now. This is elite. This is kind of his go-to in the half court, is this little turnaround fadeaway. He's knocked it down a few times, and it's a really tough shot to hit. If he can master it, he'll be trouble, because, you know, you can score at all 3 levels at that point. This was a little bit lucky, but he got it to go for the and one. And then this is what's going to make teams and general managers fall in love with him, right? We talked about his 6'10" frame, 6'11" wingspan. He's not going to be 19 until December, and he's a phenomenal defender. Look at this, on the ball, being able to stick with a guard on the perimeter, shadowing him all the way to the rim, and then getting the block right here, blocking the 3 ball, not going for any shot fakes whatsoever, using his body to defend, and then getting the block and the deflection going the other way. Great recovery, fighting through a screen right here, and then once again on the ball, isolated with a smaller guard, and he's just going to shadow him right to the rim and get the block into the first row. You try to hezzy on him, and again, these are smaller guys than what he's going to face in the NBA, but that's still good on-the-ball defense at the perimeter. That's something that definitely translates. Something else that translates is this rim protection, because these guys are going up weak. These guys are not going up to dunk it, and it's showing. Essengue is going up and taking this the other way, getting steals, getting deflections, getting blocks, and turning them into fast break opportunities for his team, and it's tough to score on him in the post. He's a really solid defender down low. Right here, he's going to rotate well and get the block. He's a fantastic rotator, and, you know, he's not the best when it comes to, right there, he let somebody cross his face, or he's not the best maybe at drop coverage yet, but it will be a work in progress, as he is 100% a developmental pick. But you can see the pieces are here. He is able to easily get rejections. Right here, the pick and roll is happening on the complete other side of the court. He rotates fantastically because, yes, this is his help, and he goes over and just easily swats it. Now, there will be guys like Kyrie Irving who are going to throw all kinds of different finishing moves at him, and it's going to be tougher to block in the league, but still, the raw potential is there. Now, yes, he royally messes up this pick and roll here in the drop coverage, but he's able to recover. Very reminiscent of what Obi Toppin did to get that stop the other night in the NBA Finals, and he gets the rejection off the board. The length is what teams love. NBA GMs are in love with overseas dudes that are 6'9", 6'10", can run, and can shoot the 3-ball a little bit. Now, this is a top 5 worst pass of all time, just throws it right to him. But still, my point still stands. His length, being able to get in passing lanes right here. Once again, the pick and roll is happening. He reads it perfectly, steps into the passing lane, shoots the gap, and gets a steal, and it leads to a leak out and a dunk on the other end. And then once again, right here, he's helping at first, and then they try to go high-low, and he gets the steal. The recovery right here, the energy, the motor, never stopping, always being able to rotate to the open guy and getting the steal. And then right here, you know, he's got active hands. Even at 6'10", he's got active hands. He can get out in passing lanes and turn it into easy opportunities at the other end of the court. And man, he is long. It looks like he has a longer wingspan than 6'11", but I don't know. Maybe that's just, you know, he's playing with guys at max 6'10", 6'9", and, you know, it's not the NBA over there. That's for sure. But where does he fit in best? I've seen him mocked as high as number 9 to the Portland Trail Blazers, and maybe, you know, the Blazers want to take a swing for the fences there, but I think the Blazers are ready to take a win-now guy and compete next year. If you didn't know, they were, like, really good the second half of the season last year, so I think, you know, he's going to end up going to a team that has multiple first-round picks, a bad team that has multiple first-round picks late in the first round, and, you know, end up having a chance to develop. Maybe like the Nets or somebody deep in the first round that have 2 picks can go out and get him. But we'll see. I've got him ranked about 20th in my rankings, 15 to 20, but some people are saying he's a lottery pick. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. We're looking for 300 likes on today's video. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching.